Why isn't everybody happy playing the game of king of the mountain, of winner take all? Not being part of a community, not really feeling part of a civilization where you are contributing and you are honored and each person is honored. We have imaginary pass-through entities. You don't believe in ghosts? You don't believe in ghost stories playing on your theater? You better start believing in ghost stories. They're called corporations. They're called pass-through entities. They don't exist except in your mind, but you gotta own the piece of paper. You want to be a shareholder. You want to have assets because that is a fan that will float you up. You won't have to work forever if you can own. Scarcity called cash. But yes, the rest of the mantras from society, from the production, consumption, reproduction programming says work harder. You are just a stakeholder. Your job is to climb up and work harder so you don't have to be. This is called a Ponzi scheme. And many people have said that. Many people have acknowledged that. And it can produce so much anger, so much resistance, so much numbness to your soul, to your being. Because you feel like you're just a number. You're just a number on Spaceship Earth. This is the God King curriculum that is playing. You cannot no longer, I can no longer just be an operator. I have to own. Ownership does not have to be aggregation. Ownership is not bad. The only way to alleviate your suffering is to be an owner and an operator of your theater of thought. Because those thoughts are going to project out into these 4 facets of culture. The 4 facets, the 4 paradigms that you have flowing through you. Very important. This is the hardware, your magnetism that you flow through you. You change the electron, you also move the magnetism. And magnetism may seem inert, and it can absolutely seem inert to you, and benign, and just, magnetism is just a field. It's just iron oxide particles on my magnetic tape strip. But when they're arranged in a certain way, played back through a playhead at the right speed, those iron oxide particles start to bend and warp and move, and now you have sound. You have consistent sound, sequential soundtrack, and you can slow it down, or you can speed it up and go really fast. You are in control of your programming, but it comes at a cost. You step out and say, hey, I am a human being. I am the owner and the operator of my body, my mind, and my spirit. This is a reflection of me. The mind, the I, cannot see itself. Your I, your source, cannot see itself except as through a reflector, just like you cannot see your eye, but it is part of the system. It is part of the flow until it can see itself as a reflector. And all of consciousness, all of being is flowing from one universe of unity, one source that you are. You are the universe of unity. But you come into this theater called human, called a cricket, called water, called any type of wave force that is delineated, that is closed down into an oscillating probability particle cloud that we call solid atoms. And it seems like we're a bunch of billiard balls. It seems like we're all separate, doesn't it? But those know, those who close down their theater, those who are willing to take their theater as a sacred temple set apart for profound experiences, profound discoveries, profound epiphanies of who you really are, that you had no idea. You thought you were just born to be a worker, born to get your education. Here's the 4 facets of the paradigm of power, the projector of power. The first paradigm is information, on and off. You're a baby, you're learning inside your theater. You have very simple toys, very simple training. You get your education. You compare and contrast. You evaluate. The baby has no idea that that blurry pink thing in front of its eyeball is its own hand until it focuses and controls and realizes that, hey, this is something I have control of. This is my physical body now. I am a perceiver controlling a vehicle. This vehicle is moving. This vehicle seemingly has mobility, has separation. And that is the unique persona. That's the privilege that you have to be inside your unique theater, no matter how tattered and torn the body is, no matter how distraught and fried your CPU is. Your circuitry of your mind is destroyed with fear, being fried. Your fuses are being blown with anxiety and tension and futility and unknowingness. What do I do? How do I survive? Why am I here? What do I do? I'm crying out. I'm very spiritual. I'm religious. I was raised a Christian. Whatever your orthodoxy is, you have what seems to be an external separation from God, separation from the source of the multiplex, of the power that comes into the multiplex, the power that is fueling you. It is a universe of unity. You come into your theater, you close down the doors, you choose the programming. You're going to have a default reel running in there called the Game of Life, and you spawned in some point here because all time is now. But you're coming into a sequential experience, as 8 billion of us are in our sequential experience here on Spaceship Earth. It's a very, very big theater. This is a cosmos of consciousness. It is a cosmos of being. It is a wave universe of pure potential, of quanta, of the science of possibility. Yes, it is funneled down into consistent, sequential structure and laws that are not broken, but they are bent. There's only one law that can never be broken, the law of one. But yet we're told, you follow the rules in your theater, don't you? We're going to come by. The police are going to come by. The managers, the owner, the landlord is coming by your theater. He's going to knock on your door saying, hey, where's your rent? Here's your utility bills. What are you running? How's the show going? What's wrong? Do we need to put you in prison? Do you have a drug problem? Why aren't you keeping up with everybody else? What's your problem? And you're like, why do I want to stay in business? How do I stay in business? You need a strategy and tactics for your game of life. Simply following the rules, following the managers, what they tell you to do, will get you nowhere. You will still be at the bottom of the pyramid. But obviously, you can't have 8 billion people at the top of the pyramid. You got to fuel it from the bottom, and that's why it's considered a Ponzi scheme. But if you see the schematic, the electrical schematic, the hidden, the esoteric schematic that you are, you become the pyramid. You don't have to climb the pyramid. You are the pyramid. But there's a few that said, hey, our self is more important. We're going to tell you about the self. We're going to tell you about the circuitry of self. And we're going to own your electrochemistry. We're going to put it into a pill. And you're going to buy it from us. You're not going to grow your own medicine in your backyard. That's not good for business. Come on. So we decide. We are the establishment. We are the God Kings. We are at the top of the pyramid. We own the cash, the scarcity. You got to come up and get it. You got to find that funnel. You got to find that pipeline of perpetuity. perpetuity. You got to access that pipeline of potential. And thus you have everybody with their how-to, their self-help guru books of here's how I made it in life, here's how I'm having a great success in my career. Oh, this product has changed my life, I'm selling it now. Come join my MLM. Oh, we're not an MLM. Everyone seems to have their plan of getting ahead, but there's no community unless you have hierarchy.